Welcome back to the channel. This week I've been driving the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Max Platinum Hybrid, and it is one of the most luxurious three-row family-size SUVs that money can buy when it comes to Toyota. It costs $67,000 Canadian, which for some of you, I know that is going to be a steep price, but it is really well equipped. And while I don't necessarily have the need for a family SUV because I have a very small family of three, it has been an absolute pleasure to drive around in this thing and take my daughter to everything from gymnastics to swimming lessons and do everything else in between. So I'm going to tell you all about it, and we'll see if it's worth its price tag of $67,000 Canadian. Let's get into it. So taking a look under the hood for our really big Toyota Grand Highlander, it is of course the hybrid engine. So we have a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder hybrid max powertrain with a horsepower capacity of 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. As for transmission, it is a 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, of course, but honestly, I'd never found myself using them. And it also can tow up to 5,000 pounds, so not that bad. Obviously, you have the Toyota reliability, and you also have, a pretty decent amount of speed from a pretty big three-row SUV. All right, next up, we're taking a look at the exterior for the Toyota Grand Highlander Max Platinum Hybrid. It's such a thing. But anyways, let's start with the front end. It's like a very simple design, right? Like there's nothing too extravagant going on here, but it's effective at the same time. It looks a little rugged, it looks a little sporty. I like these daytime running LEDs. They look very nice and clean. No problem. I do like this chrome strip all the way along the top there. Looks very good, as well as we have a nice front grille. You can see we've got a front-facing parking camera, standard Toyota badges. It's obviously got front-facing sensors as well, which is very good. And then we also have really nice fog lights. So overall, if you see this in your rear view mirror, you're kind of going to move over quite quickly because it is quite daunting. It's quite a big, beefy front end, and I really do like looking at it from this angle. Next, we're going to take a look at it from the side profile. We have very nice rims. Again, simple, not trying to do too much, just trying to be useful. And I think that's what it is, right? Because there's nothing really crazy going on here. Looks very good. I think the ground clearance is decent for the winter here in Quebec. It feels like winter right now is the time of filming. You got the nice chrome on the top, nice chrome trim right there as well. But let's quickly move on to the exterior before my hands freeze off here. Really nice tail lights. You got the Grand Highlander badge, the Hybrid Max badge, and the Platinum badge. And check this out, Toyota is not even hiding its exhaust like some of these brands are doing, and it actually looks quite good. Dual exhaust setup, very nice. We do have a digital rear view camera, but it's mounted inside of the windshield. Very cool. Last but not least, let's check out some trunk space. Obviously, it's an automatic tailgate. You can see I've got one section of the third row folded down, so ton of space. Got the Toyota mats, so that protects the carpet in here. Get a good shot of the 3-row there. Cup holders and a USB-C port. As well, back here we have our JBL sound system, and we do have a actual outlet. Very cool, so you can plug in like a cooler or something back here and get power. But yeah, a ton of room. Now, the seats are not automatic in terms of how fast they go up and down. You got to pull this thing, and $67,000 would have maybe liked to see that, but you know what? For the amount of space we get, I'm kind of all right with it. So that's going to do it for my thoughts of the exterior of the Toyota Grand Highlander. Let me know what you think in the comments. But next up, let's take a look at the rear. All right, so as usual, we're going to hop in the back seat first. Open the door. It is a easy place to step into, absolutely no problem. You have this here for the little sun blocker if you have children, which I do, so the car seat fits very well. You can see I've installed a little mirror there. Plenty of room for everything, including this rear-facing car seat. Obviously, when it becomes a front-facing car seat, it'll have a lot more room. Got a little bit of some cup holder storage here, some storage down here. I like this nice-looking color here. Very good on the seats as well. Kind of a mix of material. Always nice to see that. The one thing I will say, though, this is worth $67,000, and it is manually adjustable captain's chairs, and there is no option to put the bench in. So if you want that, you can't get the Max Hybrid Highlander, or you can get the Highlander Hybrid, I think, but you can't get the bench. This is, captain's chairs is the only way it goes, and it should be not manually. It should be powered adjusted for this captain's chair rear seat. but let's hop in. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about in terms of legroom here. So legroom, very, very good. Tons of knee room, tons of foot room, absolutely no problem. I also have heated and ventilated seats, as well as my own climate control back here, 2 USB-C ports, and a 120 volt outlet right down there. I've also got some storage here behind the seats, no issue. Really nice sunroof as well. This, if it's in your way, you can remove it. See, it's removable. You can just take it right out, no problem. It's a nice little cup holder spot though. You got your armrest right here. Third row is accessible, easy to get into relatively. I'll show you in just a second. And there's really not much problems for space. This is definitely not a vehicle that has a space challenge. But let me just get out here quickly. I'll show you how you would actually get in to this third row. So that kind of bangs right out of the way, and then you can just hop in pretty simply like this. It's got a pretty big opening, so I'm not hitting my head too much. And you know, I don't have a lot of room back here. That is the reality. But you do have USB-C ports, and you do have cup holders, which is always very nice. And it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, this seat, but it is decently, you know, I could do like a short trip back here. Definitely road trip, I'm gonna need to be in the front, the driver's seat, or the captain chairs, because this is just a little bit too small. But if you have younger kids, this is perfect for them. But let me climb myself out of here off camera, and let's hop in the front. All right, so next up is the business end, the front seat for our Toyota Grand Highlander. See, we got a little bit of storage down there. I like the different mix of materials, 2 sets of memory seat settings. Good news, driver and passenger seat are power adjustable, so at least there's that. It is not manual adjustable in the front for 67 grand. That's good. I like the Grand Highlander badging on the door trim here, and also on the carpet. Looks very, very nice. Let's hop in here as well. You'll see that we have a pretty standard looking Toyota steering wheel, nothing too crazy. I do have dual zone automatic climate control. Let me make it a little warmer for myself in here. And yeah, it's just a really, really comfortable place to spend time. I've got physical controls for absolutely everything, because Toyota doesn't mess around with those haptic feedback stuff. They just do it straightforward. I love it. Cruise control, lane centering is all right here. Media control and gauge cluster control all right over here. And then you also have your heated seat button. You have your tailgate button. You have your AC volt on or off button. And you have your automatic high beams. Your gas tank button is down there, and also to pop the trunk, that is down there. Steering wheel, however, is manually adjustable still, but that is all right. You also have your trip information and your illumination control here as well. Now, we got a fully digital gauge cluster. Looks pretty good. I do like the look of it, and it does have a couple of different themes, so I can kind of go here, make it more simplistic. You can also swipe through some different analog stuff, so you can change what's in the gauges and kind of see what's going on, and you can have different themes for, you know, different terrains, whether you're on a road trip or not. You can kind of choose what you'd prefer there and just kind of see it. But I do like this power flow one, where you can see exactly what's happening right now. I think it's all on battery power, and obviously the wheels aren't being powered, so you don't see that, but it kind of gives you a good graphic of what exactly the vehicle is doing. So this fuel economy thing here, this 529 kilometers I have on the gas tank, I think it's actually more with the hybrid system. I've seen a couple of reports, watched a few videos as well, that say that I have a ton more than it actually says. I don't think it's that accurate. I don't know if they've changed it or not, but it seems like it may be the case where this thing might be a little bit inaccurate. But still, 529, not too bad, but I feel like there's probably closer to 6 in there with this hybrid. And the fact that I've had it for a while and that hasn't moved, it is still full. Next, we'll move on to the infotainment display. Very, very nice. I love Toyota for this, because it's just not complicated. There's nothing going on here, like vehicle, energy flow stuff. You know, it'll show you different things, but like, if you want to see them, but like, there's really not much to do here. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wired as well for both. Very, very good. Like I said, built-in navigation's not too bad. I don't use it though. I'm a CarPlay person, so I'll plug that in. But really, it's so simple. It's so simple. And you've also got your JBL sound system. Maybe you edit that a little bit, and that's pretty much it. And then look at this, physical controls for every single HVAC thing you could ever want. Heated and ventilated seats for the driver. Heated and ventilated seats for the passenger. You can control the rear from here as well. All of it is controllable from right here. We also have this nice little storage area. I think, you know, my phone slides around here quite a bit, because there's nothing to stop it, and it goes into this little tray here, but there's a little bit more storage there. Probably could fit a big water bottle in there. You've got your view button here, which will bring up your 360-degree camera, and look how cool that is, right? It kind of ghosts your car, which is really, really cool. It says check surroundings for safety, right? And I can kind of click through it, though, like a fish, I think. This is like cinematography in my vehicle. I mean, this is cool, right? And you can kind of turn that off or you can choose between different views. You can pause it. Very, very cool. I do like that. And obviously when you're trying to park, it gives you the overhead stuff. Very nice. USB-C port here as well as here. Power button right there. This little gear selector here, so it's going to be over and up for reverse, and then obviously to the side, down for drive, and then you've got the park button right there. And of course we do have a manual mode if you want it. Auto hold button here, parking brake here, which is electronic. And then you have kind of your drive mode center. So if I click this, it'll go into normal mode, but I'll show you the little animations it does in the gauge cluster when I go through it. So this is mud and sand, and it's going to edit stuff for that. Boom. And then we also have rock and dirt, and we have an eco mode, and then we have a sport mode. Very cool. Sport mode, very impressive. I'll tell you that now. And then normal mode. Pretty cool how it kind of changes, and you can control that. And then also, yeah, we do have a snow mode. There is not much of an animation for that, I don't think. No, there is no animation for that. Just says snow. There we go. So we'll put it back into normal mode. We have a little bit more storage on the inside here. I love this little shelf that moves around. Very helpful, very useful. Passenger side, they got a little storage right there, as well as a USB-C port for themselves as well. So it's like just road trip. And look, digital rearview mirror. Love that. Very, very good to see that. Very useful as well. Oh man. And then of course, sunroof is there. Very nice materials. This, like, you can get this, I think, in black too, but this trim here, this is probably one of the best looking Toyota interiors that I've ever been in. And that's saying something because I've been in a few now. And yeah, Toyota did a really good job. Yes, it cost $6,000, $7,000. This is the cream of the crop. This is the top of the top. Still, very nice job for what I'm looking at. I enjoy what I'm looking at. It might be really expensive, but I enjoy what I'm looking at. So let me throw up that GoPro to my forehead and let's take this thing on the road. All right, so on the road now. Unfortunately, it is decided that it is going to rain relentlessly and not stop, but I've got the Toyota Grand Highlander, so I've got maximum capabilities in pretty much any type of weather, and that, obviously includes the rain. Although it's not enjoyable to look at, maybe, it is enjoyable to drive in. Very safe, very, very good. So living with this thing for a week has been just simple. Like, I don't stress about space. I don't really stress about the fuel tank. The battery is taking care of itself. So I'm not worried about EV range or literally anything about that. You just hop in, you turn it on, and you more or less know how to use everything and know how to do everything. Of course, it does have, it's got some surprising amounts of speed to it. We're in the rain, so obviously we don't want to slip too much, but I can give it to it. And this Highlander can move. And, and it's not expected to be a powerhouse. When I was going into this thing, I wasn't expecting it or looking at it to be a powerhouse vehicle. I really wanted it to just simply be something easy. And also it needs to be able to handle the winter. And I think it can do that. Obviously, I think I can say that without having to test it. But that's one of those things. It's you're not really looking for it to light up a track or a straight line, but man, did this thing impress me. I mean, it goes. It's got some power. It feels class leading. I don't know if I've been in a third row yet that has this kind of surprising power to it that really wasn't expected to or really wasn't meant to. I think the Infiniti QX80 is probably a close one, but again, I think the autograph version of that is a lot more expensive than this. So, I think the Toyota kind of has a beat there for that as well. Visibility is really good. Digital rearview camera, big mirrors. It kind of feels like a minivan when you drive it. Just the seating position to me, for some reason, I feel sort of like I'm in a minivan. But the way that it actually handles and maneuvers in a parking lot, it feels smaller than it is at the same time. It's kind of weird the way that it is. You kind of have to spend a week with it to really understand what I mean. But it's just easy to mall crawl, right? And it's easy to do these little back roads with, or a road trip would be absolutely no problem. You have the lane centering stuff, cruise control, adaptive cruise control. It's got pretty much everything, and it also will monitor your eyes and stuff. It's told me many times that it's told me straight up one time just to sit up, period. And so I was kind of surprised that the car is giving me commands and telling me what to do, but it's because it couldn't see my eyes, and it'll tell me to pay attention, or if I'm looking at the infotainment display too much, it'll kind of beep and stuff. So it has good awareness monitors, and that's A feature that I haven't had often, and this one, I think you can probably turn the aggressiveness of it down, but this one gets pretty aggressive sometimes with it. You definitely notice the beep, definitely snaps you right back to reality, if you will. So fuel economy for me is about 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers, and I've done about like 400 kilometers so far this week, which, you know what, isn't terrible. But I think that in the real world, you'll see better, because I got to idle these things. I got to film them. You know, it's cold outside now, so I tend to keep the engine running while I am filming, so I can hop back in and get some warmth really quick. So there is, you know, I think there is more on the table in terms of fuel economy. I think that you guys will actually find more in it, and I think it's going to be really good. I think you can get it way lower. I think you can get it into the 8s if you're really careful with it. But usually I'm driving in sport mode or eco mode, or sorry, normal mode and eco mode. I don't really touch any of the mud and sand stuff because there's just no need to. But I mean, if you do find yourself needing to do that, it's also got just a straight up snow button, which is cool. So if it does decide to snow here from the rain, I am covered. Although I don't have winter tires on, so that will hurt me a little bit. But still, I think you know, if you live in a challenging area that has a lot of bad climate, bad weather, like we are about to see, this thing is going to excel absolutely no problem. You've kind of got a drive mode for any condition, and so that's going to be a big one. Ride quality is good too. I don't feel the bumps too much. I don't think you're supposed to. I think there's, you know, maybe a little bit in there because they can't let the Grand Highlander have everything. They got to leave some room for the Lexus, but still, I think the damper is pretty good. It's, yeah, I just really don't have any issues with ride quality wise. I could do a long road trip. I've spent a lot of time in traffic in this thing, and, you know, it's not a big deal. It just rolls through it. It's comfortable. The seats are comfortable. It's heated and ventilated. So, you know, really no matter what temperature you're at, it's going to be a nice time for you. I do have paddle shifters here, but honestly, I probably will never ever use them. They just don't, you know, it's just, what's the point, you know, like, because I can go into D5 or D6, whatever you want, but I just feel like, you know, there's not much use to that. The automatic transmission here is going to do everything, and I'd rather let, you know, just the all-wheel drive system take over, and I don't really want to mess with it. So I think in that case, it's a cool sporty feature, but never going to get used by me anyways. So yeah, overall the driving is like really like decent, and I don't think it's like a car that you look for. Obviously, we need it to be comfortable. It is. We need it to be easy to use. It is. But it's more the interior features. What does it have? How much space does it have, and stuff like that. So that's why we kind of went over all of that first. And then the driving is just kind of the cherry on top. It's kind of fast, surprisingly so. It's efficient, and it's comfortable. It's kind of ticks all the boxes. But for $67,000, is it enough? Like, you let me know in the comments. What do you think of the driving? How do you think of the handling and stuff like that? If you own one, let us know. If you own a previous generation, let us know all of your comments. I want to hear everything. If you have any questions so far, let me know. And let's throw it to the final thoughts and outro. So overall, it has been a simple and convenient week with the Toyota Grand Highlander. It's been able to handle absolutely every task I've thrown at it, including horrible weather. I obviously can't test it in the winter yet, but I'm sure that this thing can handle it with absolutely no problems. So your family's going to be safe, and you're going to be able to get to all of your activities no matter what the Mother Nature throws at you, and I think that is really good. $67,000 is a lot of money for a vehicle. Whether that's worth it or not, well, I don't have a need for a 3-row SUV, but I think the Grand Highlander has impressed me quite a bit just with its hybrid system, and it's kind of fun to drive. It's kind of fun to go fast in it because you don't expect it, and so it has impressed me that way. So, you know, if I was ever in the market, I think the Grand Highlander would be at the top of my list. I don't know if I'd want to pay $67,000 for any vehicle, but I think that the people that can afford this vehicle and that need something like this, I think they're already in the market for that. And honestly, at a certain point, need outweighs price for some, and you will be happy in this vehicle long term. It's going to save you money at the pump. It's going to save your money hopefully in the long term with different maintenance, stuff like that, because Toyota has unmatched reliability that is still there, and I do believe that is still a factor for the 2025 Grand Highlander, and I think it's something you can take into account when you're actually making that buying decision. Of course, you don't have to get the limited, the platinum, the max. You don't have to get all that stuff, and you still get a great powertrain, but still, you know, if you really want the space and all the luxury features that Toyota can offer at this level without going to Lexus, this one is really impressive, and I wasn't expecting it to be that impressive. So Great job done by Toyota. Would have, liked to see a little bit more luxury items for the 67,000. It would make me feel like there's a lot more value here, but still, what you do get is pretty decent. But of course, I want to know what you think. How do you feel about the trim, the specs? If you have any questions or anything that I missed and I didn't go over, you can ask your question in the comment, and one of us will get back to you. I will try to kind of look in the comments and see what kind of questions you guys have. If you like what you see and you want to see more cars just like this on the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.